So I mean, it's a great setup to have so many greens here. You could virtually host anything, couldn't you?
Well, that's what we're here for. I mean, we're a little bit disappointed that we can understand the decision. We're a little bit disappointed we lost the club championship this year going to Todmorden. But I'm well aware that it's fair that these things go round. But yes, we have the veterans team championship, sorry, county championship. We have the ladies county championship comes here. Yeah, we do have a lot of events, and we're highly delighted to stage them.
And it's revenue you need, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Mel, I can't emphasise, bowling clubs will know this, it costs us £25,000 a year to run this club. In fact, this year it's probably going to be a little bit more because particularly the number 3 green on my right here is not good condition, and we've employed a consultant named Kevin Malt, who's the guy who's put the Donington greens in the condition they're on. So he's going to cost us about £2,000 this year, and we've taken on again a full-time groundsman. We had a part-time groundsman up until Derek Howells, who's done it for 20 years, retired. We've taken on a full-time groundsman, and that sort of put another £6,000 on the wage bill there. So, you know, 25,000 could come close to 30 this year. So we need other people's money as best we can get. I mean, and last Sunday, we were actually sweeping snow off 2 of the greens so that we could get the 80 people who attended to have a game.
Yeah. And of course, during the summer, again, thanks to Barry Jennings, you run a lot of events, triples and doubles.
Oh yes, and also this last year, which was a tremendous event for us, the Shropshire County Association decided they would have their interleague competition on one day, 8-a-side. Very successful day, I think, but it was also a very successful day for the club. I mean, we had 17 leagues represented, all their supporters. It turned out to be a glorious weather day, and that was a phenomenal day for us, and we're optimistic and hopeful that we may get it again this season.
Yeah, so all in all, the club's holding its own.
It is. Well, there's no question about that. I mean, I painted the picture of our problem with the agent. That is the only snag that we've got at the moment. I mean, we've just invested in a new mower at £5,000. We've just refurbished totally the gents and ladies' toilets. You know, money isn't a problem at the moment, but we keep working to make sure it's not a problem.
And of course, Shropshire County have used the greens regularly. I played here myself on the number 2 green, and now the one behind you, commonly known as the Ponderose, has been used.
That's it. Well, until we beat, can I say, with some delight, until we beat Yorkshire this last season in the Crossfield Cup. Final at Mealbrace. The only time we'd ever beaten Yorkshire was on the famous Ponderose here behind me, and I have to say that with the exception of Graham Wilson and Bob Hitchin, the other 10 didn't like it at all and made their views patently obvious. But yeah, we've had many county matches here.
No, I mean, this particular number 1 green, I mean, it's a massive green. I have seen the dimensions on the wall in the club. And can you just tell us what the size of it is?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a long way.
That one is 52 by 54.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, the one on the left doesn't look as big, but corner to corner, because these are slightly rounded, it's almost the same distance. We reckoned last week we cleared 4,000 square yards of snow.
Yeah. So, yeah, all in all, it's a superb venue.
Yeah.
Now, you've just mentioned Shropshire County. We must obviously touch on that. You've been heavily involved yourself. How long have you been involved in Shropshire County Association?
I suppose if I go back, the first time I got involved in anything was 1976 when I became treasurer of the local league, and then from there, from 1978, I became a delegate on the county committee. Since when I've been an auditor for the county committee. I had the privilege of playing for Shropshire for a fair number of years. I also was team manager for a number of years, but what particularly I was delighted was that in the year 2000 I had the special honour of being the county president. So yes, and I still attend all executive meetings, and in fact was one of the people that sort of thought that the famous 4 in Shropshire were being very, very brave when they said they would win the county championship for us in 3 years, and the proof of the pudding was in the eating, as I say, because they certainly did that, and it was a wonderful, wonderful day at Neil.
Yeah. Obviously we just touched on last season. I mean, for Shropshire it was quite special all round, wasn't it? You know, with Callum winning the All England and winning the Crossfield Cup. It's got to be a special first time at the Crossfield Cup in so many years.
35 years, 1974.
1974.
Yeah.
So it was, a very special season, and everyone in Shropshire must be very pleased.
I had a tenuous connection with the 74 side. I was the measurer.
Looking ahead to this season, now, what do you think of your chances of retaining there?
Well, the players are exactly the same. Obviously,
the visitor.
that was one of our very, very good workers, Ernie Shade. I shall give him a shout when we finish. The players are exactly the same, but obviously now the other number one, they're all there all there to shoot at you.
Yeah.
But I'm optimistic that it can be done again, no question about it. But it'll be an hard act to follow. But the players are exactly the same. There's just some doubt about one of the captains, Glyn Herbert, but I've got half a feeling that when the time comes, Glyn loves his county bowls.
Yeah. Your group, you've got Lancashire, the Potteries and Staffordshire. Could have been harder, really, couldn't it?
I think so, and I don't mean any disrespect to these county sides, because on the day they're 24 talented players against 24 talented players. But I would hope we could beat the three counties, because obviously Lancashire are not what they were. Staffordshire, when you look at them on paper, I think perhaps ought to do a little bit better. The Potteries, I think, are perhaps one or two short, but they're talented sides. So
the Potteries have very good home greens as well, don't they?
It's not a give me. It's not a give me by any stretch of imagination.
But as I say, you'd have preferred that draw to having one or two of the likes of Yorkshire.
Yeah, because obviously Yorkshire would be gunning for us, big style. Although, am I allowed to say, Mel, that I don't think the Yorkshire side are what they were. I think that, when I go back to when I had the odd time of playing against them, and the Gene Bardens and the Alan Thompsons and the Nicholsons, the Roy Nicholsons, they were really good side in depth, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they're just rebuilding it. There's a lot of good young players coming through, and last year I was particularly impressed with James Hanson and the Fisher brothers, and I think
well, the juniors won the championship, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh no, didn't they lose to Warwick and Worcester? Sorry.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, but they are. Oh, never write them off at your peril, but I just feel that they're not quite got the depth they used to have.
Yeah. And of course your selectors, your gang of four, they've stuck together, I believe, haven't they?
Yes, and I've got to tell you, you guys could be in fear, because they've also taken on the veterans team.
Oh, right.
Because we've not enjoyed any success in the veterans 8-a-side team championship, and they've taken on that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
I think the thing is, of course, you're there to be shot at a little bit this time.
Yeah,
now everybody's going to be well up for playing Shropshire.
I mean, initially I was uncertain about the idea, but I'm always open to be persuaded differently, and I think it's worked well for Shropshire as it's turned out. And I've got no problem with them doing another 3 years, certainly. I think, as I say, they'll be there to be shot at, but I think, they did very, very well, and hopefully it'll continue. Yeah,
I mean, a couple of years when Warwick and Worcester won it, the following year, I think they went and got beat the first couple of games, didn't they? And
well,
that's how it is.
Fingers crossed that doesn't happen, Mel, but what do they say about ball games? It's all on the day.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a year to remember, wasn't it, for Shropshire?
Wonderful year. And we had a wonderful celebration at Wem United Charities Club at the end of the year, in which a large number of the 74 team were still able to attend. People like Mike Hinton and Tony Poole and Ray Bourne and Dave Beer and a good number. Derek Price, a former Shrewsbury Town footballer, Derek, and a very good bowler. So it was a lovely evening, super evening, and very enjoyable.
Yeah.